Welcome to Afterlife Experiences. If our content intrigues you, don't forget to show your support by giving this video a thumbs up and joining our community of subscribers. Now, let's dive right into today's NDE experience. It all began 3 weeks before my heart attack, though I didn't realize it at the time. I was at school, teaching like any other day, when a strange, unsettling sensation came over me. It wasn't like anything I'd ever felt. It felt almost like my body was trying to warn me of something. I worried it might be my heart, so they called an EMT, and soon I was on my way to the emergency room. As it turned out, though, it was just acid reflux, a discomfort many face, but often something that can hint at more severe heart issues later. Relieved, I returned to school, figuring it was nothing to worry about. Then, a week before the heart attack, I was watching television. There was a man on the show who'd had a heart transplant. He was speaking to the audience about his new life, sharing that he took around 90 pills every day to keep his body stable. Missing even one could jeopardize his life. His story struck me deeply, as he shared that, if he fell ill, the medication count would only increase. I remember thinking to myself, I'm not going down that path. I won't have a heart transplant. He seemed to repeat the warning as though he could sense someone like me might need to hear it. Almost as if it were a prayer, I voiced, "No heart transplant for me." A week later, I found myself back in the emergency room. This time, it was as if lightning had struck me. It came on fast, a wave of intense, silent pain that left no room for thought. I tried to ease it, even soaking in a hot bath, thinking maybe it was a pulled muscle. The pain was overwhelming and I grew anxious. But amid the chaos, an unmistakable inner knowing rose within me, telling me almost like a calm whisper, "You need to go to the emergency room now." It reminded me of a voice I'd ignored once before, during a terrifying car accident 2 decades earlier. This time, I didn't hesitate. Running down the stairs, I called for my husband to take me to the ER. Coincidentally, he had just spoken to my doctor, who also urged that I get to the hospital immediately. We reached the emergency room, and I walked in myself, half convinced it might just be acid reflux again. But the receptionist's face said otherwise, and I knew this was different. The medical staff moved quickly, giving me the same liquid they'd used on my previous visit, hoping it would ease the reflux. But this time, it didn't work as expected. The liquid immediately shot back out, spraying the opposite wall. In that instant, time seemed to slow down. I became hyper-aware of everything happening around me, almost as if I was observing from outside myself. I could feel the tension in the room, see the concern on everyone's faces. Yet amidst the fear, a sense of peace filled me, a quiet voice within telling me to be still. I let myself be calm, almost serene, as they stabilized me for transport to another hospital. As I was being prepared for the transfer, I overheard one of the EMTs murmur, "She's not going to make it." I felt a twinge of indignation, wanting to tell him, "Hey, don't say things like that where people can hear. They might believe you." Later, I realized he hadn't spoken it out loud. I had somehow heard his thoughts. On the journey to the next hospital, an out-of-body experience took over. I found myself outside the ambulance, watching as it sped down the road. At the same time, I was still aware of myself inside the vehicle. Then, suddenly, I was lifted beyond it all, arriving in a radiant room with 12 beings of light, dressed in flowing robes. The room seemed transparent, and through it, I could see the entire universe laid out before me, planets and stars stretching into eternity. Instead of moving toward the light, I ascended directly and found myself seated among them. We didn't communicate with words. Instead, thoughts and feelings flowed effortlessly between us. I understood everything they were sharing, almost as if it were something I'd always known, but now remembered more clearly. It felt like being in a vast school of wisdom, a place where knowledge and love intertwined seamlessly. I couldn't see my body or the chair, yet I could sense them. It was as if I was seeing and feeling through a different set of senses, ones that didn't require eyes or physical form. The council of beings guided me toward a life review. I hesitated, not exactly thrilled at the thought, but I understood that it was necessary. In my mind, I arrived at a familiar yet profound place, illuminated by a light that seemed beyond words, filled with a love that was beyond anything earth could offer. Seated in what felt like a director's chair, I gazed out into the universe, and then I saw it, a small dot rushing toward me, coming faster and faster until it became my life, unfolding from my very beginning to the present. In this life review, I relived moments I hadn't thought of in years. Events that, on the surface, seemed insignificant, but were, in truth, pivotal. I saw my childhood, even the moments of hurt I'd caused others, like in 5th grade, when I joined in with some girls to tease another classmate. I could feel her pain as if it were my own, a reminder that God feels every hurt, every choice. The lesson was clear. I had chosen the approval of others over my own soul's goodness. It was humbling, eye-opening. I realized how often I'd missed seeing my own choices, believing myself a mere participant in life rather than the author of my journey. Each choice had been a thread in the fabric of my existence, and I could now see how each decision echoed outward, impacting not only myself but others. Through this review, I came to understand a profound truth. Every choice we make has the potential to uplift or to harm, not just ourselves, but the world around us. I was shown that each soul is interconnected, woven together in a vast cosmic tapestry. We are all part of the same light, the same energy. When we act with love and compassion, we align with a higher good that serves all souls, bringing them closer to divine peace. In that celestial realm, I experienced the universe as one single, harmonious being. I became a part of it, like a spoke in a great wheel, with God at the center, radiating out love, truth, and wisdom. Together, we moved through the cosmos, experiencing existence without fear or judgment, purely as observers, filled with understanding and acceptance. I was shown that all life is connected, that when one person is hurt, we all feel it. Every soul contributes its unique light, a different hue in the spectrum of existence, yet we are all part of the same source. Some souls, I learned, struggle to complete their life reviews because they remain bound by earthly beliefs in right and wrong, unable to see beyond duality. But in the divine, there is no such separation. Heaven, I realized, is open to all. It's not a gated place, but a realm of unconditional love and truth. There is only love, and it welcomes each of us with open arms, free from judgment. In those moments, I felt a freedom and self-acceptance that I'd never known. I understood that I was not only a part of God's light, but that God's essence flowed within me, just as it does within all of us. My spirit soared through the universe, moving within a wheel of vibrant colors and musical vibrations, the likes of which have no comparison on earth. I sensed that we are beings of energy, of pure, boundless love, meant to learn, to grow, and to share that love in every way possible. When I returned to my body, it was with a new understanding, a peace that transcended fear. Life, I realized, is about perspective. When we hurt others, we hurt ourselves and all that exists. But when we live with compassion, we elevate the whole of creation.